Hello, and welcome to the first video podcast for what is still called Extra Life, or X Life for short, and this is also part of the Life of a Gamer blog. Yes, I know gamer is spelled wrong. Someone already took the actual Life of a Gamer. Had to improvise. Just get that out of the way now. So it has been a long time since I've posted to this. I started this after freshman year of college. Did two really long reviews, both of Dragon Age 2 of the game and a DLC pack. Took a long break, I think a good 3 or 4 months. Posted something about multiplayer, and then I just stopped. I didn't stop. We did audio podcasts of me and my friends and my roommates about various topics. I believe most of them were the difference between casual and hardcore, sports gaming, I believe, was one, and the Old Republic. So we did those, and just recently, within the last couple days, I posted The Long Return. Very short, brief, to the point, announcing that I'm back. I hope eventually this blog will catch on and become popular, and then people will look back and oh, this is the real beginning, in essence. I wanted to go over a few things real quick about The Long Return, elaborate on it, and discuss a few future things that are going to be on the blog. First off, it used to be a long time ago that it was me and my friend Bobby doing this, but it's just me now. He never actually wrote anything. It was just a weird sort of time where we tried some things out. He was part of the many of the audio podcasts. I'm hoping to have him and my friend Corey do some more audio or video podcasts, whatever we can, or write some articles. It would be awesome to do that in the future. Secondly, probably the most important thing is that I am in college at the moment as I am recording this. I am poor as shit, for lack of a better term. So, when I buy games, I buy them because they've caught my eye, and I want to play them. It's not necessarily that, everyone else is talking about, but though it usually happens. I am a Call of Duty fan, sadly, though I did not buy MW3. I did buy Black Ops 2, Black Ops, and World at War, and MW2, and Modern Warfare. I regret a lot of those purchases. But never Modern Warfare 4, or Call of Duty 4. Amazing game. So when I review a game, it's because I physically bought it. I wanted to play it. I am going to try, and because at the moment I'm not really interested in buying that many games right now. I will be buying Far Cry 3 here soon, so I can't wait to play that, and then I will put up a review for it. Bioshock Infinite, probably the only other game I can see myself buying right now, and as you know, rumor is the new consoles will be launching this year, so a lot going on there. But I am going to go try back on. I really want to do a review of Spec Ops: The Line because that was probably one of my favorite games from last year. Very underrated, very amazing, and stuff like that. Also, I'm going to go ahead and go over the last 2 points real quick. Thirdly, I don't have a capture card, is what I said. I have one for my computer. I have a program for it. But unless I post something about WoW, which I don't really want to because sadly I don't really want people to know I play WoW, even though I just said it. But it's there. I probably will post stuff about WoW because I love it. It's fun. I don't play it every day. I play it maybe twice a week. But I love it. It's fun. It's a nice break from the norm from video games. You just do a few things here and there. And lastly, I don't know when I will be posting new content. I hope to be doing a lot of these videos because I can make them as long as I want. I can do 20 minutes or 5 minutes or 3 minutes or, whatever. And it's whenever I have free time. Right now it's a Sunday. I have plenty of free time. But those are the main things I wanted to touch on. Something I didn't put in the article that I should have is about how I'm going to do reviews. I decided to change it. If you look back at the first 2 reviews I did, and I had a lot of reviews in development, which I completely scrapped. I had an Elder Scrolls, Gears, a Halo, I had a bunch of them. I really broke them down to every aspect, every technical aspect. And that wasn't bad per se, because the Dragon Age 1, the main Dragon Age 1, I talked about graphics and all that stuff, but I did touch on the story a lot. I had spent a lot of time on the story, if I'm not mistaken. Mechanics and all that stuff, and while that is true, there are important things you have to talk about. I've decided to review it the way that I would want to review. If I'm going to review, I'm going to write it the way that I would hope to see it. I want to know, one, is it fun? Plain and simple, is the game fun? Because if the game is fun, and it's probably worth buying. Like, you may not enjoy the story, you may not enjoy the gameplay all that much, but if you enjoy playing it, that's ultimately what matters. You want to have a good time playing the game. And so I'm going to touch on that. I'm never going to mention graphics again unless it's just something like absolutely beautiful or absolutely horrible. Like, something you turn on and you go blind a little bit because it's just so beautiful, or because you go blind because it's so ugly and you don't want to see anything ever again. But those are probably never going to happen. Well, it's going to happen, but not for a while. I will touch on game mechanics that don't work, and then contrasting that, I will touch on game mechanics that do work. But if overall there's not really any hiccups, I'm not really going to touch on it, because like, if it's fun, it's fun. You don't need to know why. You don't need to talk about like, or what it's weird switching weapons. Like, in the grand scheme of things, if you're having fun, it's a small issue. It's not a big deal. So fun, is it worth your money in terms of what you get? Like, take Black Ops 2 for example. You got a single player, you got a multiplayer, you got zombies. Yeah, there you go. And that's what you got. You also play with bots on your own, so you don't technically need Xbox Live. So you basically have 3 games in one. And if you're a multiplayer fan, then you don't really care about the others. If you're a zombies fan, you don't really care about the others. If you're single player, you don't really care about it. If you're like me, who wanted all 3, it's an amazing buy. So let's just take this right. Let's say I was reviewing it, and I probably will in the future. So here's an advanced review, advanced like 1-minute review. So let's say I'm breaking down Call of Duty Black Ops 2. I'm like, the multiplayer is good, not as good as some of the series in the past. Black Ops was better, in my opinion. Obviously, Modern Warfare was the best of them all. Let's not get into the sequels to Modern Warfare. But it's fun. I have just Prestige for the second time. I enjoy it. I like the way that you can keep attachments from Prestiges and camos for Prestiges. That is very nice. You get one permanent unlock per Prestige, which is really nice. I love having my shock charges. And it's fun. The zombies. Best zombies in the series yet. I mean, the transit mode is just absolutely amazing. Get 3 people together, online, split screen system, like whatever you want. It is. You can only split screen 2 people at a time, I should mention that. Fun. The single player, arguably the best yet. I'm hesitant to say that because I'm a huge fan of Modern Warfare, just because it's like the Citizen Kane of gaming. Yeah, it's the best I can say. It's the Citizen Kane of gaming, really. It did so many innovations. Though, I guess Bioshock really was Citizen Kane, but Modern Warfare is a Citizen Kane for military shooters like that, with multiplayer and all that stuff. Let's just leave it at that. I actually might do a video about that. That's a good idea. But, and it was fun. I liked the choices. And the choices did have impacts, which I did like. It wasn't very Mass Effect-y, but it was. Like, unlike the ending of Mass Effect 3, it didn't. A whole other ball game. But it was nice. You got your choices. And some of you didn't realize how important they were to later. Like, I played through first time on Veteran, like I do all Call of Duty games. I try to do those little, like, Spec Ops type missions. And that shit on Veteran, hard. I failed all of them. I didn't even try doing it the last 4. I was like, So my ending was really weird. It was awesome. I'm playing through it a second time right now on easy, just to beat everything and see what it's like. Yeah, get some extra achievements. I am an achievement whore. I'm almost at 70,000 without hacking. I'm proud of myself. So what had happened is, if I would do the conclusion for that review, I'd be like, all around Black Ops 2 is a good game. It is fun. It is fun if you like single player. It's fun if you like multiplayer. It's fun if you like zombies. But I would only buy the game if you wanted 2 out of those 3 things. Because if you just want the single player, then a $60 investment, because it's roughly still $60 at the point I'm videotaping this. It's not much for an 8-hour campaign, maybe, like on max. That took me 8 hours on Veteran, but that's Veteran, so it's probably like 4 or 5 hours on normal. Now, the only exception to this, if you want to straight for multiplayer, then $60 investment's fine. I mean, you're probably going to be playing it for at least a year until the next one comes out. You may or may not invest in DLC, that's, a whole different ballgame. And if you want just for zombies, I've tried matchmaking on zombies, and most of the time people don't have your mics in, and you kind of need to communicate in zombies, unless you're doing just like survival. If you're doing transit, you need to communicate. So unless you have a group of friends who are willing to play with you all the time, it's not really worth it. But if you want zombies in single player, then you have your longevity in zombies and, single player replays. And if you want multiplayer zombies or multiplayer single player, whatever it may be, then I would say buy it if there's 2 out of the 3 things you want, unless it's multiplayer. Because multiplayer on its own in Call of Duty if you like Call of Duty, is enough to sustain it. So overall, I would just say, play it. Rent it, buy it, whatever you want. And that brings me to how I'm going to have a physical score for a review. I've read a lot of reviews over the time, watched a lot of video reviews, and it either comes down to three systems. The buy it, rent it, whatever, the star system, like 1 to 5 stars, and the numerical. I hate numerical, because if you've ever heard of Adam Sessler and seen him rant about it, he's absolutely true. What the hell is the difference between an 8-point game and a 9-point game? What is that point? What makes it a B game and then an A game? It doesn't make sense. So really what I'm going to do is I'm kind of going to merge two of them. I'm going to kind of merge the buy it, rent it, pass with the star system. So basically that's how it's going to work. If it's buy it, it's kind of like it's going to have stars next to it, or asterisks, whatever I feel like doing. I'm lazy sometimes. And so what's going to happen is that you're going to see buy it, and then you're going to see 1 to 5 stars. And the 1 to 5 indicates how good it is at a buy level. So let's take Black Ops for example. I would say it's a buy it game with 3 stars. All right. So that means that it's a great game that you should buy it, you should play it, but it may not be for everyone. And then basically after that, I will put little comments for each one to suggest the stars. Now, if it is a rent it or a don't buy it, there will be no stars. The stars will only be for the buy it games to indicate how good of a buy it is. Now, 1 star does not mean it's not a bad buy, but it's a cautious buy. It's a niche buy, if you understand what I mean. Like Spec Ops: The Line would be a niche buy. Yes, it's a military shooter, but you can't really explain it without playing it and ruining the story. But it's a niche buy. BioShock would be a 1 star. Well, actually, I would put it as a 5-star buy because I think it's fucking amazing. But anyways, I'm not sure on that yet. I'm kind of just thinking of these things. I want to just buy it, rent it, save it, but I want a value placed on it. So I want to kind of merge the two. So when I finally get that ironed out, I will post a new video just explaining that and see how that goes. That's what I'm working on. I'm trying to decide what to do with that. I will not be putting up any audio podcasts anymore. I may if I have to do something, but I can talk at the same time. But probably not. I'm gonna try get some FaceTime. You can see how my beard changes colors over time because I'm gonna be shaving soon, and then it's gonna be blonde, and it's gonna turn red like it is now. It's really weird. But so any questions, comments, concerns, post in the comments. Also, it is on the banner at the top. I do take constructive criticism well. And I am human. I make spelling mistakes so much. I try to find as many as I can. But, if you spot a spelling mistake, just let me know. If you spot something like that, just let me know. Also, one last thing. I will not do a written review for every game. The big games, I will do a written and video review. The video review will just be me talking about. Basically, it's not me reading it, but it's me talking about it and expanding on what I didn't say. So then in the video review, you may hear me talk about graphics. But in the written review, which is the one you really should read, the one you should pay attention to the most, that's going to be the one that you want to look at. The video review is like an extended review, in essence. But it will cover the main points from the review. But let's say a downloadable game. Let's, like Braid or something like that. I might just do a video review for it. Because a written review, it's a short game, and it was DLC. I'll get up here, spend 3-5 minutes talking about it, and tell you what I think. Alright? I may put a little conclusion paragraph at the bottom of the video when I put it up, just so if you want to, you can just skip real quick, see what the conclusion was, and then decide if you want to watch it. But for those small games to save time right now, hopefully maybe over the summer when I have more time, I'll actually do written reviews for everything if possible. But since I'm about to wrap it up, I'll go ahead and tell you what I'm planning on doing. Like I said earlier, I'm trying to get Far Cry 3 beginning of next month. So hopefully, it's not sure yet. So if I do get that, you can respect the review of it. Like I said, I'm in college, so I can't. It's hard to burn through a game like I used to. So it takes a while to play it and review it, all that stuff. But I am gonna put up a review probably for Black Ops soon, Black Ops 2. And a couple of games. I want to go back and do a Spec Ops: The Line review because that game was phenomenal. And I'll just say it out there right now. I'm not a big fan of the best ofs of the year, so don't expect that stuff near the end of the year. I will say what my favorite game to play over the year was, but it's not necessarily the best game that was out, if that makes sense. It was my personal favorite game to game, but it may not have been the best game out. Like, for instance, Spec Ops: The Line. Probably one of my favorite games to play last year, but it wasn't the best game out there last year. It's a good example of it. So, the reviews. I'm also thinking about some, editorials to write. The problem is that right now, everyone's talking about video game violence. Everyone talks about that. If you really, really want to hear some great opinions about that, just watching the videos from Adam Sessler. He really knows what he's talking about in that. Everyone covers it to death. I don't see the point in saturating the market with more of it. I'm just going to stop right there about it. But, I don't know. I maybe write an editorial about the new consoles. I mean, a lot of people are doing it, especially now that the rumor is, at this point, as I'm filming it, that, no used games maybe, internet connection at all times. I mean, I'm not so bad with the internet connection, but no used games, like, that's how I make a lot of my money back, to buy new games. I sell them at GameStop, then store credit to get new games. I haven't actually bought a game with real money in, I don't know, 2 years. Though that's probably going to change here soon. But anyways, I'm going to keep my eyes open. I'll probably do something about Warcraft and why it's a fun game to play, but not constantly kind of thing. And then I'm also going to follow up with another video, a physical video like this one, about the Old Republic. Because if you remember, we did an Old Republic audio video, me, Corey, Bobby, Abby, and my roommate, Aaron. But I'm going to do it. They will probably not be here. I might try to get Aaron in on this so you can actually see his lovely face. But I want to talk about what happened with that game and the potential that was there has never been capitalized. Because I tried to go back and play it earlier, 2 weeks ago, because I went free to play. But that will be my next video podcast probably, unless I put a review up. And so hopefully I can get Aaron in on that, and we'll see how it goes. So thank you. Please leave any questions. Actually, you know what? Let's do this. If you have a question for any future podcast, I feel like after a couple of weeks, I'm going to compile these questions and just do a Q&A. So if you have any questions, just put them in the comments, and we'll answer them in a couple of weeks, hopefully. Or, if I have time in the next video, I'll answer one, and then, later on down the road, do a full, massive, comprehensive video. So, thank you, and bye.